G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. And yes, the Blues has flogged the Brumbies 46 points to 7. And to say this was a bad game for the Brumbies will be an insult to other teams that are putting out bad games. The Brumbies were stacked from the starting 15 all the way to the bench. Even the Water Boys were international test level players. And yet, this team, apart from, running water on the field, I guess, categorically fail rugby at every level of the game. They failed the scrummaging, they failed the lineouts, they failed the tackling, they failed the breakdown, they failed the... I wasn't going to say kicking game, but let's face it. There was no kicking game. There was 15 players out there, not an ounce of fucking brain cell that was on display. Oh my goodness. Did Steven, if you actually told me that these players were coached by professionals, I would think you're joking. I would think you're a comedian in the stand-up comedy in Canberra, right? My goodness. The stupidity started 5 minutes into the game. Blues were yellow carded. A player was sent off with a yellow card. Great start, right? Surely. Easy try. Just kick the ball out for a line out. You don't even have to go for the maul. Just get the ball out wide. There's already an overlap waiting for you to score, right? The Brumbies decided to not go for the line out, to not go for a scrum against 14 players. They decided to do a rugby league move called a slow tap. You know what a slow tap is? A slow tap is the opposite of a quick tap. It's where you wait for your opposition to set up all their defense, right? And then you're like, all right, guys, let's take a tap. Let's take a tap and run the ball. And guess what happened? 3 phases later, turnover. No try. No points. I know. How could you botch that? Blows my mind. And then, luckily for the Brumbies, they had another chance, a few minutes later. This time they're like, okay, we better go for the line out. Let's not do that again. Again, right? There's a back missing, right? There's the number 9 is missing. There's a guaranteed overlap in the back line. Brumbies went for the line out. They faked them all. Good, okay? Maybe there is an ounce of brain cell out there. And then they went to the train tracks down the shore side. And they got pushed out. I think it was knocked on. Whatever. And they were just like, what? What? I was just baffled, right? How could you not? Did I mention they were playing against 14 players? I think I did, right? I think everybody knows there will be an overlap out in the open field. And they decide to go short side and loses the ball immediately. My God. And this was all happened within 10 minutes of the first half. At that point, I already knew this was going to be a record-breaking game for the Blues. And sure enough, the Blues were able to score 7 points whilst down to 14 players. And the Brumbies just scored nothing against 14 players. Boy. And again, I think, the fascination of playing rugby league is really just the feverish degree in their Australian sides. The Blues were dominant in every aspect of the game. Brumbies, every time they got the ball, oh guys, is it 5 tackles yet? I think it's about 4. Let's kick it away. Yeah, let's just kick it away and see what happens. How many times Lolosio just stupidly kicked the ball away? And you wonder why the Brumbies can't score. How can you score without the ball? It's just mind-blowing. 3 phases, that's good enough. Kick that away. Just before half time as well. Lolosio fundamentally failed to understand the law of the game. There was goal and dropout on the half, goal and dropout. He decided to kick the ball out on the full. And this was just before half time. So the referee's like, well, you can't kick down on the full. It had to be a scrum for the Blues. Fundamental law of rugby somehow a professional player that wants to play for the Wallabies don't seem to know. My goodness. I don't know what else to say. There was a yellow card. Everything failed. Scrum, everything failed. I mean, God, it was just embarrassing. And how is Brumbies ranked third on the... Anyway. Oh, man, it was just bad. The Blues, you can see it. The Blues knew exactly. They did their homework. They knew exactly the areas they want to pressure the Brumbies. The set piece, the scrummaging, the lineouts. They want to attack the 10 and 9 channel because they know Lolosio and Lonergan can't tackle, and they just jammed, what's his name? The biggest runner, Caleb Clark, into that channel again and again until they scored. Yeah, just that easy. Lolosio looked like he wanted to get off the field, looked like about to cry because it was just too much tackling he had to make. I mean, if you're kicking the ball away, of course you're going to make tackles, mate. What did you expect? And the 4-pack from the Brumbies just folded at times. Like, there were just not breakdowns. Tackles were just, there was like 3-4 people trying to tackle one person that still couldn't make it. And it's just, yeah. The Blues, yeah, like I said, did the homework, knew exactly what they wanted to do, knew exactly how they were going to score, had a game plan. I don't know what game plan the Brumbies had other than kicking the ball away because, that's how you win the game of rugby. And it's not just like, smart kicking, right? It's just like, boys, let's just give the ball back. It was literally like, yeah, let's just kick the ball back and see what happens because we have no idea what we're doing. And let's have a look at the match stats. 7 tries to 1. My goodness. 577 run meters to 184. My God. How can you have 16 turnovers? Right? Let's refresh this. How can you have 16 turnovers when you don't even have the ball? My God. Only 8 turnovers conceded against the Blues. 59 tackles. 59 tackles for a whole game of rugby for the Blues. What? That is actually not a glitch. What? Okay. 195 for the Brumbies, 24 missed tackles. Kicks in play, 20 kicks. Wow. Yeah, sure. 21 kicks for the Blues. Bunch of missed conversions for the Blues, doesn't even matter. Still record breaking. 4 lineouts lost for the Blues. Ironically, that's an issue that the Blues will have to look at. It's something that they probably not gonna, net them any favors against, the top teams when it comes to the final rounds. But yeah, 4 lineout loss for the Blues. That's probably one of the areas that the Brumbies should have pressured a bit more because, what's his name? Nick Frost was doing quite good in the lineouts, as always. So that's an area, if you were... Wait, not Nick Frost, who was it? Caden Neville, I think it was. Was it? Nick Frost was pretty good too. But yeah, I thought the lineouts maybe was somewhere like something that the Brumbies could probably emphasize because I thought like the way that they can, like Nick Frost, especially when he was played in the previous games, were really good at contesting those lineouts. Maybe that's something that they could have like incorporated into their strategy. But nah, fuck that. That's too much work. Let's just YOLO it, and kick the ball away. 2 lineout loss for the Brumbies. And there was 1 scrum loss for the Brumbies on their own feed. Jem Slipper had a yellow card, which meant that the scrum was already like getting dominated from the get-go. Only made it worse when Jem Slipper got a yellow card. But yeah, it was just completely one-sided affair. 8 penalties conceded for the Blues, 1 yellow card. That was a really interesting yellow card, like I said, right from the get-go. I thought it could have been potentially a penalty try. The player was basically basically in a nice little line break from the Brumbies. I think it was Toole that went down the trial sideline. And then he got tackled just on the trial as he was placing the ball back for his teammate, the Funaki, the number 9 from the Blues, was coming back from an offside position and kind of like kicked the ball, or like kind of like touched the ball essentially on his way back in an offside position. Cynical. I thought that should have been a penalty try, but Ben O'Keefe maybe felt like the person that made the tackle on Toole could have gotten up and made the tackle on the player that was coming through for the Brumbies. So not a penalty try, but still a yellow card. But yeah, that was a really poor start for the Blues, but they got out of that quite comfortably. There was one yellow card against Jim Slipper, high shot to the head, poor tackling technique. It is what it is. Yeah, let's go through the stupidity that happened in this game. I don't know what else to say. The game, like I said, Brumbies looking quite good right from the get-go. Funaki was yellow carded for, touching the ball in an offside position just in front of the try line. And yellow card. And Brumbies said, hey, let's play rugby league. Please play rugby league. And instead of going for the line out and, getting all the or maybe a scrum, getting all the defenders drawn in to the set piece, let's just take a slow tap. And sure enough, a few phases later, running into a brick wall, and what's the name? Mark Talea gets a turnover, diffuses the situation for the Blues. And, 9 minutes into the game, the Blues got themselves in the front foot. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They had a penalty, went for the line out, went for the maul. The maul kind of like marched into the Brumbies 22, and then they just, kept the tie for the Blues. Pick and go. They haven't got a number 9 on the field. Of course they're going to pick and go, right? What else are you going to do? Send the ball to the back line? Nah. They just pick and go. And it's almost like the Brumbies couldn't make tackles. Just big boys running into little children. Looked like until Tutu crashed over. Try time, 7 points to 0 to the Blues. 50 minutes into the game. 13 minutes into the game. Brumbies had another opportunity for a line out. Like I said, against 14 players. 5 meter line out penalty. And they decided to fake a maul and then go down the train tracks and got the player almost pushed out, and he tried to throw the ball back in and it was knocked on, something like that. And botched that immediately against 14 players. No one can count how many people is in the back line, it seems. They just, let's just ran down the short side when there's like 3 people like right there looking at it. Anyway, so by the time the Funaki came back on the field, the Blues scored 7 points. The Reds didn't score any at all. And the pain train continues for the Brumbies. 32 minutes into the game, there was a penalty for against the Brumbies, and the Blues knew exactly where their advantage lies in the scrummaging. They went for the 5 meter scrum option instead of the line out. And then it's a move that they've obviously been practicing. They knew that Lolosio and Lonergan can't tackle, so they just had Caleb Clark crash into the number 9 straight out of the scrum and 10 channel with 9, 10, and 7 from the Brumbies hanging on to Caleb Clark. Still couldn't make this tackle, and he ran through for the try. 14 points to 0. 36 minutes into the game, there was another penalty to the Blues. They're like, let's just take 3 points. Whatever. I don't even know what we want. Just do whatever at this point. It doesn't matter. 17 points to 0. And just before halftime, so the Brumbies, again, every time they had the ball, just stupidly kicking the ball away. Eventually, that stupid kicking led to the Brumbies dropping the ball in their own half, in just 5 meters short, went for the scrum, and the Blues it was a bit wet out there, it was a bit rainy, dropped the ball, and you're like, just before halftime, the clock strikes red, Brumbies saved by the bell. Lolosio, goal line dropout, right? Kick the ball out on the full from the goal line dropout. Not allowed to do that. And despite his halftime, the referee has to go back for the scrum because that's an illegal kicking the ball out. And the Blues was like, thank you very much. We wanted to really redeem ourselves. Went for the scrum, open field, crash ball to Leia, really close. So 2-2 pick and go, try. 24 points to 0 halftime. And second half, 4 minutes into the second half, Blues already getting a penalty, kicking the ball out. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. line out, Maul. The Maul wasn't even that great, to be honest, with the Blues. Very messy, very, like, not that tight, a little bit high. That doesn't really matter. The Brumbies didn't even know how to play rugby, so of course they're going to just run them over. Papali'i was the one on the receiving end of the ball. Try time, 29 points to nil. 49 minutes, Jem Slipper gets sent off for a yellow card. The ball carrier ducked his head into it, but still he was too high. If Slipper had gone down a bit lower, I felt like he would have been fine, but nah, straight in to the bin. 58 minutes into the game, 52 minutes into the game, sorry, the Brumbies was trying to exit out of their own half, and Lonergan looked like he got the ball out of the ruck, and as he's trying to throw the ball back to Lolosio for the clearance, it looked like someone from behind hit him in the back of the elbow here, and he dropped the ball. And then it was scooped up by Funaki for the try for the Blues at 51 minutes. But the TMO reviewed, you really can't see anything. It was just like something happened really fast, but it's really hard to tell what actually happened. It was just like, even the slow motion, it's like blurry. You can't really see if it looked like someone reached out, but you actually can't see him like actual contact. And then Lonergan just dropped the ball. Like, looked like someone's hit him in the arm, but you can't actually see it. So it was a really weird sort of situation. They reviewed it, but I thought it was really weird. You can't really see anything like clear that someone actually hit him in the elbow. So he just knocked the ball back, and try time for Funaki. 58 minutes into the game, there was a scrum penalty for the Blues, and guess what happened next? Went for the line out penalty. And then the Maul straight in for the try. 41 points to nil. 62 minutes. The Brumbies are having like zero breakdown pressure. Like, they were just losing their own breakdown left and right. Luckily, they got a penalty for the Blues running into their own players after losing the ball. So the Brumbies had an opportunity for a line out, and they went for it. Reimer, there was a crash ball, and then Reimer pick and go. Gets the first try on the ball, and only try for the Brumbies. 7 points to 41. And just before, this was only 63 minutes. So you're like, maybe Brumby can get a 1 more 2 back. Nope. The Blues just control the game. Brumbies kicking the ball away stupidly. And finally, 47 minutes of the game. Exactly what you expect. Scrum penalty to the Blues. They went for the line out. And what happened? Sorry. They had a scrum penalty, and they went play the advantage. They spread the ball out wide, and then they got kind of like into the Brumbies 22. And then after they go on wide, they tighten up, pick and go, quick ball, and then Eklund, the reserve hooker, pick and drive, try time, 46 points to 7. Missed the conversion, but who cares? And that was the end. 46 points to 7. Boy, embarrassing. I don't know what's going on. And by the way, Stephen Larkham, if you are hiring a stupidity coach, please consider hiring me, because I'm pretty good at coming up with stupid ideas. I've learned a lot from Eddie Jones. I can definitely give you my input from that. And please, if you are offering especially some good coin for that, I'm more than happy to come in, Let me know your thoughts, guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Cheers.